YouTubers, Aldo Shay back with a brand new video for you here. First off, welcome back. Great to see everyone, and more importantly, welcome to part 4 of my Midcard collection. So we're nearly there. Got 2 more videos to get out after this, and then we will move on to the next collection, which is my Triple H collection / my World Championship collection. So looking forward to making a name, but let's get on to what we're talking about here. So these 2 replicas that I'm going to be talking about today, I want to say they're kind of like a wild card set of replicas. In fact, wild card kind of championships where the WWF WWE just threw them against the wall and hoped that they would stick. And the first one, I'm just going to get right into it here so you know what it is I'm talking about. It is something from the Attitude Era. Okay. Very, very Attitude Era. Classic bag and everything like that. So it is the WWF Attitude Era Hardcore Championship. Now, this was awarded to Mick Foley in November of 1998, and ever since then it went on to have a lifespan up to 2002, where it was unified with the Intercontinental Championship, where they were going through the stage where they had too many championships and they were combined in the mid-cards. And I have to say, at the time, this just looked like a big pile of crap. But as time went on, it became eventually a replica. It took on a life of its own, shall we say, especially when the 24/7 rule came into play. It created some laughs in the Attitude Era, that's for sure. The notable champions are the likes of Mick Foley, obviously being inaugural champion, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Big Boss Man, Bradshaw, JBL, and the last one being Tommy Dreamer and RVD, respectively. But as you can see, it is not your typical hardcore championship that's on the internet or that people have seen on WWE Shop. It is actually one that I've custom myself. Now, before I get any further, I just want to show people the authentic WWF Attitude Era Flashy, and it was done in 2001, so it is a real one, it is authentic. But a couple of years ago, the tape on this was starting to, the original tape on it was starting to come off and look kind of crap, and I decided to upgrade it. So I upgraded it to put new tape on it, so new duct tape, new wording tape. So I put WWF Hardcore Champ. Now that is my own little spin on it. I quite like it. People were yay and nay about it, but it is what it is. It needed done. Now there is another version of it out there in E. Instead of this blood messy red, there it's blue, and there is also a most recent version that came at WrestleMania 41 this year that was way too much to afford to get. But anyway, but there is a lot going on, but there's not an awful lot going on at the same time, where you have a lovely gold tip, that's the starting point, and then it just goes into a spray painting dream. You have a little bit of the traditional winged go in there, which is what it was, and very few side plates. It was great. It was such a crazy belt, and what a crazy time to be a fan. Absolutely unbelievable. But I'll get into more of this when I get into the review of it. The second replica that I'm going to be reviewing today is one that I've actually done quite recently. I will put the video in the description so you guys can check out the first incantation review that I did. This one was brought about in late 1989 when it was clear in storyline that the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, was not going to get the WWF Championship at the time. So what did the big bad evil Count $1 Million Man do for himself? He got his own custom job done. I suppose you could actually say it was one of the first times that people, he was one of the first people to get his own custom belt. So that belt was, bear with me because I'm going to have to lift it quite gently. So it is the $1 Million Championship replica, and this is version 3. There was around about the Attitude Era version, about 2001, 2002, they decided to release a lot of replicas. This was one of them, and then through WrestleMania, from WrestleMania 20 to about WrestleMania 26, I want to say, they re-released it. They've re-released it in 2015, and this is the 3rd version. And this is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful looking championship. I'm going to be very careful with this because of how delicate it is. So the actual strap itself is done in beautiful dollar gold and simulated zirconias, dollar signs, I should say. And then it is the same on the other side too. It's got some awkward weight to it, that's for sure. But the actual belt itself is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I mean, it's history. So the $1 Million Man brought on TV in 1989, sorry, I can't get my words right, 1989. And then from there, it went from Ted DiBiase to Virgil when they had their storyline going. And then when the $1 Million Man was teaming with our Shyster, Mike Rotunda for Money Incorporated, this faded away. In 1996, when Stone Cold Steve Austin came in and was going to become part of the whatever was left of the $1 Million Corporation, they gave Steve Austin this championship when he was called the Ringmaster, and then Ted DiBiase Jr. brought it back in 2010, faded away again, and then most recently in 2021, they brought it into a program when LA Knight was competing for the championship, to the point where this was in a ladder match, and yeah, it's had a weird history. It's came and gone more sporadically, but it's a beautiful, beautiful looking championship. Absolutely beautiful. This goes in a very special cabinet every time I take it in and out, just because of all these zirconias, because I do not want to lose any of them. So guys, let's get into it before I start rambling on what we're here to talk about here, and that is, of course, more replicas. Okay guys, so here's the in-depth review on the Attitude Era WWF Hardcore Championship. I could not get those words out there, but in all honesty guys, this is not going to take long at all, because there is not an awful lot going on with this championship, so please bear with me. But as I said, and I will put up pictures and posts of what it actually looked like before I did this custom job on it, but it is what it is. You know, the Hardcore Championship, I think, was meant to be created as a joke anyway, and as time's gone on, I just feel it needs a certain update, and I'm quite proud of the update, in all honesty. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it, but that's just the joy of replicas. So anyway, please bear with me with this, because there's not an awful lot to here, but what a lot of people actually think this was, if anybody is a historian like me and knows when Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig and the genius Lenny Paffo actually stole the Winged Eagle from Hulk Hogan, and they actually took a hammer to the championship, broke it up. Don't really saw the sense in that, because Mr. Perfect was wanting to become the champion at that time. But anyway, and a lot of people actually think that that belt that was smashed up is the belt that Vince McMahon gave to Mick Foley in November of '98. But yeah, I could see that. I could see where they're coming from with that. But anyway, let's get into it. Now, there is two WWFs here. Now, you have the WWF block logo. So it was one of the original block Winged Eagles. In a nice bold writing there, and in gold. Not an awful lot going on with it. You have a little sunblast effect at the top. You have some scratches on it, or in fact, I'll rephrase that, it is actually stitches. Considering the original Winged Eagle never had that on there, but that's quite a nice touch. And the sunblast effect goes all the way down, and you hit a little bit of the globe, and a little bit of the eagle is in there too. You can see the eagle claws there, and you have the eagle wings. Now, obviously, I've put the duct tape over this quite a bit, so it is what it is. You have my own red tape WWF logo there too. I'm quite proud of that one, actually. You have Mick Foley's signature there. I met him several years ago in Edinburgh when he was doing his comedy gig. There is a weight plate, so there is one of the Winged Eagle weight plates there. You can still make out some of the sunblast effect. You can still make out some of the eagle. But in this tape, in this duct tape, I have in silver, I managed to put hardcore. And then beneath that, I put hardcore, I put champ. So I've got WWF hardcore champ. Now, if I choose to change it again, I might just do that. I might change it to champion, maybe get really crafty and make little cutouts of champion and put it on here. Who knows? But I do like it for what it is. Now, onto the side plates. Well, there is no really much side plates. These two are broken up of the two sunblast side plates, and yeah, it's, you got a little bit of my red tape here, a little bit red tape up there. Then you've got one of the sunblast plates here, and on the other side it's the exact same, with only one over here, and then the rest of it is all covered in tape. The only thing that actually makes this look good is the random gold tip on the end. And then I want to say the paint job on the main strap is actually just wear, tear, covered in blood. I think that is what they're going for. What they went for with this is just the blood effect, because obviously in hardcore wrestling there'd be a lot of blood, and that would just be their blood dried into the strap, and it gives it a nice little effect. I will say that it's very nice that they brought that they did that. Now, as I said at the start of the video, for authenticity, you can see It is a figures done in 2001 and is an official belt. And thankfully the strap, the flashy, has not come off. So I'm quite happy with that. And as for the strap itself, it is still very good. It's holding up. I will give it that. It's holding up to the test of time now, because this is 2001. This is from 2001, sorry. This is now 2025, and it is still good nick even today. So overall, very happy that it's still standing, and I like my custom job on it. I think it is very cool. Very Attitude Era is what it is. I don't ever really see myself getting an E version and do. I might get a comparison down the road, but who knows? Okay, guys, so here's the in-depth review on the $1 Million Championship, and yeah, it's got a lot going on, but also not an awful lot at the same time. Anybody that knows anything about the history of this championship knows it was just one big dollar note. Sorry, a gold dollar note. I mean, as far as I know now, even the $1 Million Man has his own con version of it as well, where I think he's got to about here, where it's more easy for him to carry it around instead of this big massive monstrosity. But anyway, let's get into it. So you have $1 here, and these fake zirconias, they look very nice, and then you have a secondary one here, and a third one there, and the teeth separating them. It looks very nice. It's a very, very mirrored belt. A lot of reflection in it, but there's not an awful lot I can really say about it, other than the zirconias haven't been replaced yet. It would be quite expensive to try and replace all these, so at the moment it is in a glass case, and it's been safe there ever since I've acquired this. So now let's into the little bit of the side plates. Well, as side plates as they can be. You have got the dollar notes, fake zirconias on there too, and you have got quite a lot of them. An awful lot of them. And then you have got the clip-in bit. And then on the other side, you have the same. You have more dollar notes going all the way. And then you've got the other clip-in bit here. Now, what a lot of people do, because this is such a long belt, a lot of people actually unscrew this to fit their size. Now, I do know somebody that actually did that, take the screws out, but these were very difficult to find again and put back together. Basically, once you separate it, it's difficult to try and put it all back together again in the right order that it was meant to be. So yeah, I'm not touching this. I'm not separating any of the clip plates or anything like that. No unscrews happening whatsoever. If you give me 2 seconds while I gently flip this over. As gently as I can. So here you go, guys, and this is a 2015 version. So like I say at the start, as I've said, this is a version 3. So there is an Attitude Era one, I believe, or at least I want to say an Attitude Era one. Yeah, I want to say there is an F1 that came about in 2001, early 2002. I want to say there is an F1. And then during the era when I think it was from WrestleMania 20 to WrestleMania 24, I want to say 25, possibly 26, when they were just throwing out replicas after replicas from different promotions. So they throw out an E version on here with the E Scratch logo on it, and this is the third version with the network logo on it and authentic WWE Network flashy to say is legit. But the back of the strap is a nice little, a nice thin gold cloth, and that's on all the plates as well. But that is a nice design overall. That's definitely that's a replica. That's a belt design idea right there. What the shape is. You could get world champion up here. You could get world up here. You could get champion down there. That'd be a nice one. Put it back for 2 seconds. Put use back for 2 seconds. And here you go. It all standing up, looking all pretty. And it is. It is a pretty beautiful, beautiful looking belt. Personally, would it look good in silver? I think it could. I think it could pull off being a silver dollar sign, without a doubt. But of course, with it being $1 Million Man, they weren't going for that then. They were going for all gold, and yeah, it looks really, really nice like that. So guys, thank you so very much for watching this review on the WWF Attitude Era Hardcore Championship and the $1 Million Championship replicas, respectively. Now, as for the Hardcore Championship is concerned, they have brought out several other versions of this. They have brought out an E version a couple of years ago that was quite popular. Most recently, at WrestleMania this year, WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, they actually brought out an updated network logo version that went for over 1,000. Very silly money for that. And as people know on this channel, I did purchase a Triple H belt while I was out there. But as for that Hardcore Championship, it was just, yeah, it looked silly, and two, I just didn't want to pay over £1,000 for a belt like that. And in all honesty, I don't need it because I have this original. So, and like I say, they have had a couple of versions of the $1 Million Championship. The updated network one seems to be a lot easier to find than the F version and the E version. So they are good. They are great replicas to have. They are really, really good replicas to have. But anyway, going forward, the next set of replicas that I'll be doing in this mid-card collection, and finally getting around to doing them, is my US Championships and the Intercontinental Championships. And then that will be this mid-card collection done. So you guys will be happy for that. And but if you guys want to do me a little favor, please like, share, subscribe, do what you need to do to get me out there so YouTube know that you like this kind of stuff. And please comment below and let me know which out of the replicas are your favorites. Are you a Hardcore Championship person, or do you like the $1 Million Championship? Please let me know. I would be interested to hear your thoughts. Now, as I always say, guys, you take care of yourself, dreams be the journey, and all the best.